was Artis Gianchikian there. Well, Brazil's interim president, Michel Temer, used to be an informant for US intelligence. That's according to the latest WikiLeaks revelation. And for more on this now, we can cross live to RT's Nicholas Sanchez O'Donovan, who's in Brasilia for us, following the story. And a fascinating story and development this too, isn't it, Nicholas? What more can you tell us?
Well, it is indeed. Hello from Brasilia. Well, according to a number of documents released by WikiLeaks, the new interim president of Brazil, Michel Temer, used to be an informant for the US Embassy and for US intelligence down here in Brazil. A cable published by the whistleblowing website shows a document sent from the Brazilian city of Sao Paulo to the Southern Command based out in Miami. In that document, that email, Michel Temer discusses the political situation down here in Brazil during the government of Lula da Silva. This is 2006. This first cable dates from January the 11th, 2006, and states that Temer met with embassy officials a couple of days earlier on January the 9th that same year to give his assessment on what the political landscape was in Brazil at the moment. In 2006, we can't forget that that was a presidential elections year, and that those elections were won finally by Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva. That's the first cable. Then we have a second cable dated June the 21st, June the 21st, 2006, and that email shows Temer held a second meeting with US officials down in the embassy down here in Brasilia, once again to discuss the political situation in Brazil. And in that cable, Temer seems to regret, he's not very happy with the lack of power given to his ministers of the PMBD party by the then government of Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva. So it's not very difficult to link that bitterness to what's happening right now, to this impeachment process against the PT, the party of Dilma Rousseff and Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva. He also spoke in those cables about international trade deals, and he suggested paths to make Brazil's economy grow. But the truth is that Michel Temer's government has only been in place for, what, a bit less than a day, and it's already been surrounded by multiple controversies. The first one being that he appointed an all-white, all-men cabinet that shocked many down here in Brazil. And then we knew that many of his ministers, many of the names of his ministers appeared in investigations related to corruption scandals. So we heard Michel Temer in his inaugural speech talk about unity, about stability, but these latest informations are just not going to help. All of this happens at the same time that President Dilma Rousseff is living her first hours in what we are calling here an exile within her own country. She's preparing her defense, and she already said that this whole impeachment process is illegal, there's no base for it, and that this interim government is not legitimate.
OK, thanks, Nicholas. That was Nicholas Sanchez O'Donovan live there from Brasilia. Thank you. Well, on Thursday, police pepper-sprayed supporters of the impeached Brazilian president, Dilma Rousseff. They were trying to get inside the presidential palace following the decision to oust the country's first female leader.
Sem agredir.
However, Brazilians are split over the scandal surrounding Dilma Rousseff. Hundreds of her supporters rallied to condemn the Senate's impeachment vote in the capital, Brasilia. And nearby, another crowd, though, also gathered in favour of her suspension. The ousted president has slammed the Senate's decision to impeach her as a coup and has denied all accusations of illegal financing and also corruption.